What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sith Council. Big thing episode of Sith Council. It is Wednesday, coming off of episode 5 here of Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're going to talk about it. Mikey Chickens still not in studio. This time he's got a good excuse. His asshole fell out. Sorry, that's the one curse. I apologize. But it's me and Steph on this show today. Ready, starting up. Pretty good. Sorry, kids. I hope you're having a good day. I'm excited to talk about this episode with Steph, and make sure if you haven't already done it, please subscribe. Hit the button there, like, share, do all of it. We got a lot going on, and in the link to the description, we have the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. It's very important. It helps the show tremendously. If you can support the show that way, please do so. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to do it again. It's the Sith Council show. Let's do it.
I can feel your anger. It gives you focus, makes you stronger.
Perfect. Just seamless. Welcome back, everybody. It's the show. It's the big thing at Sith Council. And I'm joined by the one and the only Steph Sabraw. Brett Sheridan.
Still intact
Brett
over
Sheridan.
here.
Way to go, Brett Sheridan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, look what I did. Steph
yeah.
Sabraw. Nowhere to
you
be found.
stinkers.
I mean, I'm really crushing it today, Steph.
I mean, killing it.
So look. See, look.
Wow,
it's like
I look
you're a
good.
Force ghost.
Yeah.
It's really good. Look at that. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let me fix this up. Oh, for the hell of it. I almost stopped.
Switch.
I don't know. You know what happened is that we just finished filming the big thing episode, and I was like scrambling. And what happened? I wound up putting the wrong. I can't even find your damn graphic now. This is annoying me.
I can switch seats.
No, don't switch seats. We'll figure it. You know what? I'll do this better for now.
Yep.
I just got to find your as we talk now. I got to find the damn asset for you. How you doing? Doing all right?
Yeah.
Good.
You're being wildly entertaining this morning per usual.
So much. I appreciate that.
Doing fantastic, actually. It's beautiful in LA.
It's nice. It is nice. Watch this, Steph. You want to see something amazing?
Yeah.
Okay, watch the magic. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Badoosh.
Wow!
Just like that. Oh, I'm good at this.
Bada bing,
That's
bada
it.
boom.
Are you watching The Offer, by the way?
No. Should I? Is it Italian Mobster?
You would love that show.
Oh, wow.
I just got Roxy on it.
What's it on?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
You got to watch it. That's the
Okay.
next one. But that's not what this show's
The
about.
Offer.
This is about Obi-Wan. It's episode 5. And all right, Steph, we're gonna do what we did last week. I'm gonna ask you what you thought, and you're gonna tell me what you thought I thought.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's. But before we even do that, I want to talk to you. And by the way, this is spoilers if you haven't seen it. We talked about the Hayden Christensen flashback scenes since before this show even aired. Satisfied with them?
I want more, but yes.
Yes, same. But what they didn't do is the de-aging.
Yeah.
So this was my version of the de-aging. Can you see it on the screen? That's what I did.
What do you mean you did that?
I made that. I de-aged him. He does. That's not how he looked in the damn show. In the damn where is it? In the damn show he looked like that.
Yeah.
Like he looks like. Look at the difference.
So would you have preferred that?
I would prefer him looking young. He's supposed to be 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like look at
or
like
20, yeah.
Yeah, 20, 18, whatever the hell he is. But that's the side by side, and it's like, and I did that on my phone, and so Lucasfilm couldn't have done that.
I think they're trying to find a happy medium between Luke in Mandalorian season 1 or
They didn't
season
do anything.
2.
No happy medium. They didn't do anything with him.
You don't think there was anything?
No.
I thought there was some.
No, dude, he looked like a 43-year-old man, but it didn't take away from the scenes. The scenes were great. I just go ahead, tell me what you thought about the show overall.
Okay, I loved it. A lot stronger than last episode. Probably my third favorite episode.
Okay.
Maybe my second favorite episode, still up in the air. I thought the pacing was really great. I loved the character work more so than ever before with like the side characters.
Yeah.
And then getting a flashback, I would have been so unsatisfied if we left the season without one. So I'm so happy about that. And right off the gate to start the tone like that. And then I just think that we continue to see Darth Vader being the best worst ever.
Yeah, like a horror character.
Yeah.
So they did a lot of great stuff in this episode. You want to try to guess my issues first?
Okay, your issues. There was another slap with.
I did see that. Wasn't it?
Tala.
The slap. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. It didn't bother me as much.
Okay.
But it was there though. She's the queen of slap. She's the queen of slap. But that one didn't bother me too much.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think. Leaving the idea of how they left Organa's. Oh. Yeah, and how Rev is still alive somehow.
It's not somehow. I tell you exactly how she's alive. They stabbed her through the stomach and they go, all right, we're going to leave you alone now. Why? Why did they leave her there?
Yeah.
For what? Vader leaves her, lets her go basically twice? So,
this was the first thing I said when I was doing like a live watch. I was like, how is she alive? This doesn't make, why would he ever leave her alive? This man is decapitating people.
Both of them left alive. The Grand Inquisitor just doing these. I'm alive. and he says to her, he goes, revenge, it's amazing what revenge will do too, but I'm going to let you live. See you later. And then walks away. It's like, why did the two of them let her live? And the answer is because we want her to turn good in the next episode because she now knows where Luke is and she's going to be the one who helps out Obi-Wan at the end.
You think?
100%. They're telegraphing it.
Well, I know. I can't tell, though. Okay, so in regards to leaving her there, I think the only reason I'm okay with it is because it plays to the idea of this man, Darth Vader didn't even bring out his lightsaber with her. Like, the disrespect is so real.
Amazing when he was... Go ahead. I'm going to play some of the images.
It's like from the get, he was setting the tone that she is so minuscule to him. Yeah. She's been on his radar, and she's so not important. It's such a non-issue that he... A, doesn't care if she's alive. B, has kept her alive even though he clearly knew she was a Force-sensitive youngling. And C, didn't even bring out his lightsaber. So the reason I'm like, okay, he kept her alive in the same vein that he didn't even pull out his lightsaber for her.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but it's like, why are you gonna if you know that she's causing a problem, she just tried to kill you. It's like, you tried, but now you're dead. And I thought what I'd said in my spoiler review earlier this morning was that I thought it was such a nice setup for everything they did with her showing, because it's a great, what they do with Anakin and Obi-Wan is so well done in this, where they're having this conversation where this is before Attack of the Clones. Yeah. Because he's got both his hands. So he's having that fight, and he's still, this is before all that stuff where he really leads with aggression in Attack of the Clones, before he finds out his mom's dead, like all that. So, and that's in there. And Obi-Wan reminds him that this dude leads with anger, and that's what the dark side will do. Reva's on the same side of that, where she's chasing revenge. She's chasing power, and her journey leads with, she's another one where she's doing so much right now in the course of 5 episodes. She's killed, even though we didn't give a crap about that rebel pilot last week, she still kills the rebel pilot. Wade. She's been killing people left and right. She's been hunting after Jedi. She's been rotten this whole entire time. And so she's making these decisions that ultimately, she even says to Obi-Wan in this one, she goes, you don't know what I'm capable of. Right? Because she's not there for anything except, she's not trying to kill Anakin or Vader to help anybody out. She's doing it because she wants revenge. Yeah. And that's the Sith way. That's the evil way. She's part of that whole thing. But the Sith also know, when they take that vow, that what the Sith wants you to do, even if she's not a Sith, I know that, she's Inquisitor, but she's still following the dark side. They're chasing to try. The Sith wants you to see if you're powerful enough to try to overpower them. The rule of 2, anyway, is that there's one who has the power and one who craves it. And when the one who craves it becomes more powerful, then they deserve to take over. That's what the Sith believe. And even though, again, they're not Sith, they're still trained in that way. So when she's out there doing, and she has this whole thing where she tells him, you don't know what I'm capable of, and Obi-Wan uses it in his advantage, and Vader says as much. Vader says to him, he was wise to do it this way, because that's how, because it worked. So her journey would have been so complete, at least to me, where she tries to do this, and I love the fact she didn't put up a fight. She tried, but she's not going to put up a fight against Vader. Who the hell's going to put up a fight against Vader? And what happens ultimately is that she gets taken out, and she gets taken out because here's the reveal of if what they should have done though is that if he would have stabbed her and then the Inquisitor came from behind and also took her out, like, trust no one. And then she was out and that was it for her. And he's like,
and like the last thing she saw was the Inquisitor.
Yeah. And then even a more tragic thing of then play back to Anakin doing the same thing of like in the temple, because I thought that stuff was powerful, but like, and then that's it. But her, like them going, all right, we're just going to leave you to die now. See you later. It's like, what? And then she finds the thing from Bail. It was just kind of sloppy.
Yeah, they wanted to keep her alive. I'm hoping the one good thing is that there's things that she's done or said that I feel like have gotten answers so far. And we have more like clarity and for this character. And so maybe there's something there in the next episode. But I would say my biggest even though I'm loving this series, my biggest criticism is kind of the easy decisions like that.
Yeah,
to like move the plot
That's what
forward.
I'm saying. They're teeing it up. That's why I think they're teeing it up, because what they have set up in this episode was that, I mean, we already knew it from the second you see that opening scene, at least we did, that she was one of the younglings.
Yeah.
They bring that back and say, yeah, that's what happened. She's got this revenge for it. But if you notice in episode 3, when Vader cracks the kid's neck, she's not okay with it. She looks up, she kind of like her face is noticed, like she's got a soft spot for kids. And even with Leia, like she's trying as hard as she can to get the information out of her, and then, all right, take her to the torture thing. But she's trying. I think there's going to be something that happens ultimately at the end with these kids. She can't do it, and she's going to wind up, being the good guy that saves the day. I think it's a bad choice, but I think it's ultimately where they're going to go with it. I thought that her journey, ultimately following the dark side for revenge, and like that's not proving the point of what George Lucas showed in the beginning. There is hate and anger will give you power, and will give, but it will not give you the satisfaction. And I think that would have been the lesson, because instead of doing, well, but yeah, everybody gets to turn good again. And it's like, that's just what happens every single time. It's like, I thought it would have been such, like when Vader stabbed her, I'm like, oh, okay, they're going through the actual journey of the consequences from following this life path. What they're going to try to do, I hope I'm wrong, but what it seems like they're trying to do is, okay, well, you can basically do a whole bunch of crooked crap like, Vader has done and Kylo has done and everybody has done, but as long as you just do one act at the end, audience will forgive you and you're going to be a good guy at the end. And I think that's lame. But
yeah. No, I hear you. I think I'm curious to see what they do in the last episode. I'm hoping it's more of a really quickly, she's the reason why Vader didn't find out the location or the existence of Luke, but then leave it at that, and then go to the other plot hole, which is the main one, which is Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
And that's the stuff that I loved what they did in this episode. We talked about this when you and I did our reaction to the trailer, was that the way that they sold me on this movie years ago was that scene in Return of the Jedi that I've mentioned a billion times over. The audience is tired of hearing it, but it's Obi-Wan once thought as you did. And the way that they sold it was that they were going to play off that relationship of Obi-Wan saying, okay, the dude's still out there. And because of that line, I was thinking he would go, I got to try to get my boy back. I got to try to figure it out. From where we're at right now with Vader, there's no way that he's going to try to get him back, nor should he. Because in the last episode, I have one conversation, come on, buddy, come on back. And he's like, no, all right, fine, let's fight. That's probably what's going to happen. But this was the episode I think everybody was waiting for, was Vader so tuned in on revenge and getting this dude and being tunnel vision side, that whole thing. And I was hoping that was something that we were hoping to see from the get, and with only one episode left on 36-minute episodes, it's like, how long do you think the finale is going to be?
I think it's going to be an hour.
Think so?
Yeah. I do.
You hope, or you think?
I think it's going to be an hour. Okay. I really do. I have a good feeling about that.
I hope you're right.
The Obi-Wan and the Anakin Vader stuff this episode to me was pretty epic.
Yeah.
Because what you were saying, like the storytelling of exactly that scene where they're training, and you always, at least me as a viewer, I've always undermined Obi-Wan's abilities because he's softer with it, less aggressive, long game instead of the short game.
Certainly played that in this episode.
And then he played that where it's like at the end, you think Vader got the ship and then they duped him. I love that part too, when he like is pulling down the ship, because we've only seen that with Palpatine and Rey.
Well, he did that in Rebels, I thought, at one point. I'm pretty sure he did it in Rebels.
Maybe in the later seasons.
Yeah, I think I think when he did it with didn't he do it when he first showed up with Kanan?
Oh yeah,
and
actually
Ezra?
you might be right.
He did it when he first showed up, but
it was in the second season.
Yeah, first or second season. I can't remember. Either way, I remember the one thing that I will say about that I asked about and I don't have a gripe with it. It's just, why didn't he do that to the Falcon in Empire Strikes Back? When the Falcon was coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe it was just too fast, got out there in time, and it's like, I don't have a gripe with it, but because it's just too damn cool to see. Like when you look at, where is that particular shot? It is so, it's incredible. It's like something you see, like we were just at Celebration, and I talked about this earlier today. That's when he took Reva out. But I mean, the Reva stuff, the fight itself, that scene, dude, when he's got the two sabers, and then he just tosses one on the ground. He's like, "Yeah, come on." He's just like toying with her.
Like, I don't even need this.
No, he's like, "You're not." Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed that scene a lot. This is it. So, shit. Sorry, I'm trying to find all this stuff. I can't. Oh, that's the beginning of it, or the end of it, anyway. This shot here. This is such a great shot. Like, this is something, these shots here are like, this is what you see at Star Wars Celebration, like the art. Like, that looks like, if you saw that, Steph, at like a booth at Celebration, you'd be like, oh man, imagine if you ever saw that in like.
Yeah. It's like builds an entire story in one shot.
Yeah, look how great that is. And he came in like just pissed.
Yeah, and this to me is such good storytelling, because it's like, it surprised me, whereas a lot of the choices, even though I like them, they're not surprising me, and it's so fun when you're getting surprised over what their decisions and choices are. Yeah,
and I thought so. I thought that they did that pretty well with that, and that's why he's just that's why it just some of the inconsistencies, like where he comes in because he's coming in hot. And he's furious, and that's why he's able to first of all, pull the thing down, rip the things from the side. Those is devastating, and then they duped him. And they kind of go back to that moment where when Obi-Wan tells him, you can't be as aggressive. You got to look around at all sides. You can't just lead with what you're leading with this aggression, and it ultimately again bites him in the ass. And I loved all that, but then he's that hot, and yet he just lets Reva live. He's messing with her the whole time, which I thought was phenomenal. And I loved the choice that they made with, like, he's like using martial arts force. Like he's great. Like that's the choreography, everything about it. It was just the end. And they didn't really explain how the Grand Inquisitor survived. She's like, yeah, I'm alive. I'm good. I know that we know about the two stomachs things, but they didn't tell anybody that.
No.
But the other stuff that I liked a lot, I thought Camille was great in this episode. Mm-hmm. Thought they used him in a way where he wasn't overbearing in that Marvel type of way. Yeah. O'Shea Jackson Jr., what they did, like, so the stuff again with Tala, and so I think that the reason why I cared when she died in this episode is because of how good of an actress she is. It's another reason I think that these 32-minute episodes are playing a disservice to the characters. You could have built her out more. You could have given her, and the droid, same thing. That clearly was a Rogue One type of moment, but K2SO had way more time for us to get attached to and did more. Than that.
Yeah, we only got one other scene with
when he almost knocked the thing out with the
hammer.
That was it. Yeah. And it's like, it was a sweet moment, but it was the same type of non-attachment with the rebels that died. It's like, well, who were they? Why do I care? Oh, everyone's sad. Well, I don't know who that person is. Same thing with the droid. It's like, oh, that was nice that the droid did that, but like I don't have any attachment to that droid. And that's the stuff that the show's doing. It's there. That's the bummer of it all. It's like it's there, and they're just not spending enough time with it. It's just kind of it. And like the Leia stuff, I really liked too. And the respect of getting up on that ladder, dude, because they don't. she's not doing a lot in this episode where it's like, okay, they got to chase her around, and she's just doing the tech. That's her skill.
Yeah.
Why was the droid evil though? I thought it was just a tracking device.
That thing that they have on it has the ability. Yeah, you can take control of the droid if that's on it. So I think the droid wasn't evil, but warning her like something is on.
I thought that at that moment, but wasn't the droid the one that messed up the wires in the first place? Or maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I missed that. If that was
I might have caught that moment right.
Yeah, but I like that too with Leia. I thought that was like a good use of her size and abilities at that time. That made sense.
So the way that this all led up in general, I thought was it was good. They haven't done anything with the other. Was it the third brother? Who's the guy with the
seventh brother
condom on his head? Yeah.
I don't.
They haven't really done anything with him. I don't even think he's ignited his lightsaber.
No. He's just like pissed the entire time.
He probably will in the next one.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they're probably all gonna. You would assume that now we know for people who were worried about Rebels retcon.
Yeah.
Well, clearly the Grand Inquisitor doesn't die, and he's going to be back. And even that dupe of giving her the pin of Grand Inquisitor, like Vader was toying with her the whole time. I love that. I also love the fact that she calls out. She says to Obi-Wan, she's like, he's going to know that I'm going to do this. And he's like, Obi-Wan's like, nah, not really. And he did. Of course he did. Like, Obi-Wan kind of set her up. And Obi-Wan's the king of manipulation.
Yeah.
He's the king of it.
Yeah, he really did made her feel like it was going to be okay.
You'll be all right. Dude.
And she was his decoy, essentially.
More or less. And I think he was trying to help her out, but and then with Bail Organa saying all these other things like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a little bit. You're like Steph Sabraw with her phone. Like, what's going on?
But Bail, why are you dropping your kids' names and locations on this thing?
But it's things like that.
Yeah, it's like that was such a noob move, man.
Yeah, right. It's like
I'm gonna be in Tatooine at 4:15 p.m.
Right. Don't tell anybody, and or at least self-destruct this message immediately.
Yeah.
Don't throw it in the sand.
Yeah, or give it to CAMEO.
Right. It's like little things like that. It's like, and I think one of the bummers is that I just fired through Stranger Things season 4. Have you watched it yet?
No, I'm not. I'm on season 3.
Okay.
I'm almost done.
And it's just like the season 4 is just like masterful storytelling.
So cool.
And season 4 is as good as the first season.
Damn. The first season to me is by far the best out of the first three.
For me, for Stranger Things, it was Stranger Things season 1 was the best. 3 was second for me, and then the second one was okay. 4 is on par with 1. And it's really good, and they spend enough time and they develop everything. And it's like there's a couple things here and there. Anytime you spend that much time, you'll have a couple nitpicky things, but for the most part, just really good storytelling. And it's like, and as I said to Roxy and Brett, who were in here before, I wasn't even excited about that show, season 4. I'm like, okay, it comes out, I'm going to watch it for sure. I like the other 3 seasons. And this show, I was like, okay, can't wait to see what they're going to dive into. And it absolutely has a lot to do with expectations. There's no doubt about it. But it's also, I can't anyway, turn my head and say that the writing is phenomenal on this show. And I love Deborah Chow. I think her best work was on Mandalorian. I think there's a lot of directing choices in here that are not phenomenal.
You think directing over writing issues?
I think writing is the major, because there's a lot of stuff directing wise that she does that I think is very good. Some of the battle scenes, like the fight scene between Reva and Vader, was fantastic. There's a lot of things that she does that's really good. But it is also her choice, from what I gather, the music. Major misstep not having any of I've seen a couple different scenes where they've put Vader, like the Imperial March to certain battles and things, are walking in. This is only 9 years before we meet him in episode 4.
Like, why wouldn't he have that?
The emotional impact, they put just a little, and the other tease is that they teased us inside of the first trailer with the Battle of Heroes, that score, and the Duel of Fates is in there too, and there's none of those recognizable themes. That's what we wanted to make on our own. Kevin Kiner from Clone Wars and Rebels did a perfect blend of the original themes plus new themes and blended them all together. I love the new Obi-Wan theme. I think it works really well. There's just and even if you blend some of the new stuff, but to not have any of it, like when Vader shows up and not to have the dun 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 dun, I think it's like they used it in Rebels and it worked really well. You lose the power, you lose the emotion. I think not having the music in this series was a major error. I think I understand why they were trying to do it. They were trying to give the composer the same thing that Ludwig had, to where Ludwig could create their own things. But the difference is Mandalorian's a character we never knew before.
Yeah.
So I still think it was a misstep when they didn't use the Force theme for when Luke showed up the first time. Mm-hmm. I know why they didn't.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, in the Mandalorian season 2. And the reason why they didn't do it is because in that particular scene, had you played that theme when he still had his hood up, it would have given it away. I get it. But you could, I mean, they played it a little bit when he showed up. They played it a little bit when he showed up. They don't play anything in this series. Maybe they do it in the finale, but there's none of this music. But like I said, I think that if you would have added the music to this, because this episode, I think is as good. I mean, I think this episode, story-wise, is better than the third. I think that the third was pretty great when you see him. I think the reason why people love that third one so much is because you see Vader really show up and wreck shop. But this combines everything that we hoped the show would be. It's just there's more good in this episode than there is bad, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely for me. But the music things are the things that I don't necessarily pick up on, but I agree with.
I'm going to show you before you leave today, because I don't want to get a copyright thing, but I'm going to show you someone recut the episode 3 fight with actual music from the prequels and Imperial March. Far superior than what they do in 3. But it looks like most people are on board with that, but again, there are some people who say, "Nah, let it go with the original music." I'm curious where the audience stands on it. So comment. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Before we move on, we'll talk a little bit more about Obi-Wan, but we also some shows. Taika Waititi has had some statements about his new movie. There's apparently coming out at the end of 2023.
Yeah.
What? All right, let's get into Athletic Greens. I've told you about Athletic Greens. Steph, you been using it yet?
I had some. It was really good. I need more. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was shocked.
I told you, and it's really, really good stuff. I love it. And for those people who aren't sure what Athletic Greens is, it just gives you a nice boost. And I'm not a big vitamins or supplement person, and I got a good one here. It tastes good. I wanted to see what the hype was about because Brett kept raving about it, and I've been doing it for months now. And Steph will tell you, I was walking around Star Wars Celebration with my water bottle, shaking it up, and I had energy, man. And it doesn't, and it looks like a grass drink, but it's not. It's like super. It looks like it's like a super healthy drink, but it's like a fruity drink. It's amazing. You take 1 scoop of Athletic Greens, and like I said, I put it in a water bottle, shake it up. You get 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole foods, superfoods, all of it. So I consume it because I like to get that boost of energy, man, and that fruity taste. It's really good. And I give it to, I just gave one to Steph. I gave one to Roxy before. It's lifestyle friendly. It's vegan, dairy free, gluten free, all of it. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar. There's no nasty chemicals, no artificial anything, and it still tastes pretty good. It costs you less than $3 a day where you invest in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. You invest in an all-in-one nutritional insurance. And it has over 7,000 5-star reviews, and it's recommended by professional athletes. And right now, if it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. So to make it easy for you, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/bigthing. That's athleticgreens.com/bigthing. Take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Once again, guys, if you are able to and you want to support the show, that's how you do it. It helps out the show. And you help out yourself, too, by the way. You get some Athletic Greens. But go in the link in the description and check out athleticgreens.com/bigthing. All right. You playing with the Emperor over there?
Yeah.
Thank you, Steph. You've made this old man's life nice. Do it. All right. Anything else that we need to talk about with Episode 5? The main. I'm going to go through some of these pictures real quick, and then we'll shift. But, I mean, that image is so good.
So cool.
I mean, I almost want to make that the thumbnail. I don't know if this is too big of a spoiler, but did that once for I can't remember what it was, for one of our shows. I put an image up and be like, nice spoiler.
Oh, I love that shot.
That's my version. But yeah, all this stuff that they did, and see, he doesn't look 20 years old there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he looks like.
Yeah, he still looks good.
We're talking about Hayden Christensen.
he looks good.
Of course, he looks great, but he's not 20.
No, he's not 20, and I don't know if this is him the whole time in the outfit, but even this moment that's going on with her when she's, they deem her the Grand Inquisitor and all that. It's like it works out. This was definitely the most layered episode for sure. It was, and I think that the one thing I will tell people is that if you're not on board with it and you just hate the show, and I said this before, instead of complaining about it, just don't watch it anymore.
Yeah,
because you're not gonna. I don't think it's gonna win you over, because you get these stupid comments of like, well, you people clearly just love everything. It's like I clearly don't love everything. From if you've listened to this episode, but I'm enjoying what I'm watching because I'm still I can take a lot of the stuff out that I enjoy. This scene, by the way, I really enjoyed. I want to know whose lightsabers these are. I'm sure that there's some video out there that's going to tell us.
Oh yeah, match them to
I'm
people.
sure.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell that kind of stuff. But even like this was emotional. He's got the robe and all that stuff. There are some really great moments inside of this whole particular thing, and then the continuing the flashback of this, these shots of them, and I'm sure that this to them was very nostalgic to be able to do that again. This shot was great too, by the way. Looking through the window.
Yeah, there was like really cool Vader shots that had this like 80s nostalgia feel,
and even late 70s. And so this is where when we're talking about Deborah Chow, I think she's a fantastic director, and even though I think that the stuff on Mandalorian was better, there's some stuff in here that is like this. This was straight up an homage to New Hope. This is the first image a lot of people remember from ever seeing in Star Wars, and like she recreated that, and she did that kind of stuff. And by the way, and I mentioned this too, Steph, this is also very this whole sequence of them being locked is very Last Jedi. When the rebels or the Resistance is all tied in at the end of Last Jedi, and the First Order's coming after him before Luke saves him. This was very similar to that, because then they come in and all this stuff was. I mean, the imagery here, like these types of things, like this shot was great.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, and she's coming in like.
Oh, the one nitpicky thing. Yeah. When she's like talking to Obi-Wan about
through the door?
Negotiating, not even through the door, when then they met up when he went out without a lightsaber.
Oh yeah.
There's stormtroopers all around them, and they're not whispering. You're telling me the stormtroopers don't like the drama?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's stuff like that. This shot was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor girl.
Yeah. I can't believe, and I mean that was pretty dark storytelling, especially in like today's time. Yeah. That she was like had to fake dead. Yeah. I was like, oh.
Yeah. It was tough, man. Yeah. It was tough, But like,
Tala rocks, great. They gave her more time to breathe though, especially with like the 14 marks on her gun for the 14 people. Right. So there's more depth to that character and why like was sad that she was gonna die, even though we always knew she was gonna die.
Could have gotten some more from her, but yes, I agree with you. And then I think O'Shea Jackson Jr. was great in this, and then we got through it, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about a couple more things that aired on, or that they ran on Star Wars Newsnet. This Taika Waititi thing. I want to read about that, because there's where the hell is he? I got some. Oh, there he is. All right. So Taika, he had something to be said. Where the hell is it? Oh, Star Wars Visions comic to tell a new story from the world of the duel. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool. It's one of my favorite episodes.
I wish he would have gotten to meet my buddy.
Yeah.
He when he was there. I saw him briefly at Celebration. All right, Taika Waititi is creating original characters and stories for his Star Wars movie. Mike Kalinowski would be happy to hear this as well. Taika Waititi was asked about his new movie. He was recently interviewed by Total Film to promote Lightyear, and the topic of the movie was brought up. The director said he's creating an entirely new ensemble of characters for his movie and explaining the galaxy with it. When asked about Kathleen Kennedy's comments from last month, where she said that Star Wars needs to expand beyond the Skywalker saga, Waititi said the following: "Look, I think for the Star Wars universe to expand, it has to expand. I don't think that I'm I don't think I'm any use in the Star Wars universe making a film where everyone's like, oh, great, what's the blueprints, the Millennium Falcon, and that's Chewbacca's grandmother? That all stands alone. That's great. Though I would like to make something new and create some new characters and just expand the world. Otherwise, it feels like a very small story. Waititi also revealed recently that he's still writing and developing the storyline of his movie, which is not great news for those who are hoping that they would begin this year. Kennedy also said that they are aiming to release by 2023, though they are not attaching themselves to that date just yet. A recent report hinted that the movie could be gearing up to film in L.A., which makes sense. The city has 3 volumes, and Waititi has already worked with the stagecraft technology on his episode of The Mandalorian Season 1 while filming the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder. He's currently promoting Lightyear, followed by Thor Love and Thunder, so expect him to be asked more about Star Wars movies in the weeks ahead, and we'll always keep you updated on the latest. Thank you to Miguel Fernandez, who's the man.
He did Lightyear?
He's a character in Lightyear.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. He's the cat.
He's not the cat.
Oh.
The cat is actually Peter Sohn, who directed The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, well, that cat rocks.
The cat is awesome. Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Did I see you when we saw it?
No, I saw it Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, saw it earlier.
Great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really good movie. But no. Taika Waititi plays the he's the guy with that blows up the suit. With the
Zerg.
Mowers. No. Mo. He's like the one of those.
Mo, yeah,
Mo.
Got it. Oh yeah, the explosives guy. Yeah. The inmate.
Yeah, exactly. Not the old lady. The
yeah.
So anyway, Taika Waititi doing this movie. It's I mean, if I'm betting,
there's no chance.
What's the percentage that this movie comes out in December 2023?
15%, I'd say.
It's a lot higher than I would do.
What do you think?
8%. How in the world?
Yeah, there's no way.
If he's still talking about writing his characters and writing his treatments, and he's got Thor: Love and Thunder still working on, and
that means no edits have been made.
They haven't started shooting it.
Yeah,
they haven't started shooting it. So if
they haven't even okayed the script.
No, it's like if TV's different. Like if they started shooting TV today, then you could probably get it. You could probably get episode 1, 2, and 3 out within a year time for sure. Movie's tougher, man. Especially with all the marketing, everything goes behind it. A year and a half to get it done. No,
and that's that's with the idea that everything basically would be shot on volume.
Right. That's that's how you'd probably have to get it done. So if they wanted to do that, but then I think some of the audience. I'm not, but I think some of the audience is getting tired of
just volume.
But
yeah, but Thor Ragnarok's like, isn't that like?
Is it pure volume?
I don't know. It kind of feels like it when you're
maybe, and that's another one. I'm not sure.
But I like what he's saying about expanding the universe because that makes sense. I don't know why you'd bring Taika on and then stick with Skywalker saga.
Yeah,
he's definitely a type that has shown that he can expand universes. I think he did that with Ragnarok.
I wonder where they're going to put it. I think that what they should try to do is start to set up this whole Acolyte period, and combine. If you're going to combine a lot of the stuff that you're doing with Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all those shows, try to tie in a little bit more with this High Republic stuff and see how that works out. Trying to think if there's anything else here it's a lot of Obi-Wan news.
The Fall Jedi or no, I don't know.
There's nothing else. Let's see. Star Wars rumors. Acolyte will. Oh yeah. So this was one that we saw. Did we read this last time? Rumors. Acolyte was going to make canon of some of the Sith legends.
No.
So there's a rumor. This one is from Grant Davis over at Star Wars Newsnet. The team at the Disney Insider have shared some interesting Star Wars rumors considering the future of the franchise on television. One concerns certain ideas from the Legends continuity making their way into the canon through the Acolyte, while others discusses a Disney-era Star Wars location. I don't need the Star Wars location one. I don't care about that. Someone said, so the Acolyte will be exploring some major Sith characters for the first time. Some people said Darth Revan. I hear they're going to bring into a lot of these Legends characters like Darth Bane, Darth Nihilus, Darth Malak, Darth Revan. I mean, this woman's going to be my hero if she does all this stuff. I mean, this sounds like you're not going to be able to get away. You're not going to be able to pull me away from the TV fast enough. I'm excited for that. And I'm telling you, the one thing that does, and I don't like when people say this though, when they go, well, that's the problem when you have it on TV. Sometimes it looks cheap, and it's the volume and everything too. And I know Stranger Things is not the volume. Stranger Things is on location. Stranger Things looks like a damn movie. For the majority. I mean, there's one scene at the very end that seems a little kind of 80s CGI, and it was whatever. There was enough great stuff that I was pretty forgiving on this particular scene. But there's some stuff in Obi-Wan that in Mandalorian it doesn't, but sometimes. But I think Obi-Wan looks more cheap than Mandalorian does.
I'd have to I can't wait for us to revisit Mandalorian.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
We're gonna do a full for those people. We're gonna do a full rewatch. But like, here's the difference: is that you look at that scene with Vader when he's holding up the ship. That looks great. Mm-hmm. The fight with Reva was great, and then there's other things that just look like. And again, you go back to that scene when Leia's running around in the woods and looked terrible.
They shot that weird though.
Really weird.
Yeah, I also
get
like,
back here. You.
That's like the one thing I would say like is the only time I was like that was a director issue to me, because if you rewatch it, the pace at which they're running makes zero sense.
How can you not catch a
child,
a 10-year-old?
She's under 3 feet, I think, at the time, or she might be 3 feet.
Super, you can catch her easily. It's just like, that's little. It's little decisions like that throughout this entire series that keep happening. That it's like, it's like I said. If I'm ranking, we can do this after every episode. But I'm ranking Mandalorian season 2, Mandalorian season 1. Obi-Wan, Book of Boba Fett. I still think the show's way better than Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I'm still on the same season. Mando season 2, Obi-Wan season 1.
Wow. That's
there's just stuff in it that I love
so
much.
They give you a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, I just can't. It's like I can't not.
It's hard. And look, you're following on Ewan McGregor in general, but I think that they can really deliver it. I'm hoping you're right, and I'm hoping we get an hour episode.
They're in a better place after today's episode than we were yesterday thinking about the final two.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. It's like that. So Ryan, our buddy Ryan Nielsen had texted me. And what did he say? He said his overall
right guy.
Well, his question was to me yesterday. He said, "How much pressure do you think is on Obi-Wan to deliver tonight?" And I said, look, unfortunately, I think it's already lost the people that it needed to get. Like, for the people who are skeptical about it, it doesn't matter how great the last 2 episodes are. You're not going to get them back, for sure. And I said, but I think that the hardcore fans are going to be invested no matter what. And for me, I've enjoyed it, but the show has been a letdown in certain aspects. But that was before last night, and I still think that there's a lot of things that, and I think that it's a letdown when you look at what the show, I think, ultimately could have been, and more of that. And I think I was, and again, it's always expectations, but I think I was wanting it to feel and link up more to that overall look and tone of what Mandalorian in episode 4 felt like. Like when you watch Mandalorian season 1, it feels like it's just part of the original trilogy, the way that it's shot and everything too. And I think that they were trying to do a blend of both the prequels, and it plays that way for sure. And that's just probably me just having one particular view of what I would like to see, but again, it's very hard for me to look at that scene if I'm holding up the scene and go, "That's awesome." I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah,
the way that looked. So
yeah.
But how much more awesome would it have been if you would like if it's flying out and you
killed Reva?
No, not just that. If when that plays out, if he walks through and the ship goes out and you hear dun 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 dun, it's like oh man, it's like that's his theme. It's like The Rock coming out and you don't play his theme.
Yeah,
it's his theme song.
One of like the best themes, if not the of all time.
Yeah, it's an Imperial March. It's and I know people. He didn't have it in episode 4. He didn't really get it until Empire. Yeah, I guess, but he had it in Rebels, so leave me alone. Anyway, so I do want to see where it wraps up. I think that honestly, with 6 episodes, I hope that they wrap with a long episode for the last one. We'll see.
Me too.
Let's see what my brother thinks of this episode. Oh wait, no,
you didn't say it.
Didn't say sending me other information, but he was so excited for this series. He's been really bummed by it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I
see that's.
I'm not there though. I'm not. He's like he ranks it under Boba.
Damn.
And he was looking forward to this more than anything. Like,
that sucks.
Yeah, he doesn't like where the writing and the directing.
Damn. I wish there was more dialogue. I'm just
that's
these are the two
major.
most interesting characters I think ever.
I think that's where it lands the most for me is that the story is there. It's not the character study of it, and even I get what they're going for sometimes when they're playing like these homage to ideas that have happened before. Like that whole episode 4 was just basically just, hey, here's episode 4 again. And instead of doing that, to really dive deep into the psyche of Obi-Wan and Anakin at this point in their lives would have been a little bit more intriguing to me. And I think that plays and shows that that's fact when you see the response that the audience is giving you after this episode. And there's only one left now. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. It's right around the corner. So very curious to get all your comments, everybody. Make sure that if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, will you? Hit that button. Do all that. Leave your comments, your thoughts, all of it. If you haven't, please get yourself some athletic greens. I want to thank Steph Sabraw for being here today, and Mikey Chickens will be back hopefully next week. Thank you guys for everything. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
I can feel your anger. It gives you focus, makes you stronger.